What's up, LL Nation? Tapped in, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, you have to drink responsibly. You got to do it responsibly. Interesting show today. A lot to get to, of course, for the Culture Friday. We will be going live to exclusive cuts with our guy Julio Cuts, who is the barber to Marcus Freeman and the Notre Dame football team. He's also cut the Georgia football team at the national championship. He cut Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, Chicago Bears. He is the stylist to the stars. That's what I call him. The hairstylist to the stars. He's been on with us before. We'll chop it up with him about some of the funniest moments of the season with players. And we're going to have fun. It's for the Culture Friday. I already know the Mackey Award has you guys heated. I already know you guys are heated about the Mackey Award. We'll talk about that, man. We'll get to it. Well, I'll talk about some of the other awards because I'm upset personally about the Thorpe Award, which I think was highway robbery just as much as the Mackey Award was. So we'll talk about that. But today's show is about the Marcus Freeman effect. We're going to talk about that, what we're seeing, and why we should feel better about this team versus the team a year ago. Because I think we kind of believed in a facade going into that Fiesta Bowl. And I think this team this season has given us the truth of what was left behind and what the foundation of the program was. And then we'll give flowers, of course, to the one and only sack leader in Notre Dame history, Isaiah Foskey, as he declared to go on to the NFL and also received his invite to the Senior Bowl. Left is in the building as always. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, you got to drink.
Like the College Football Playoff Committee, non-responsibly. And whoever decided the Mackey Awards, they ain't drinking responsibly either.
Oh, man. Lucky Lefty Podcast, you already know. We spin it different. Let's go ahead and start with the Mackey Award. Let's just start there. Let's look, College Football Awards. Go down the list of winners. You had the double for Caleb Williams, who received the Maxwell and the Walter Camp Award. And then Davey O'Brien went to Max Duggan, TCU, and he also got the Johnny United's Golden Arm Award for the top upperclassman quarterback. Bronco Nagurski was Will Anderson. He got the double for the Bednarik. Also for Defensive Player of the Year, Lombardi went to Will Anderson as well. Will Anderson had one of the quietest, dominant college football seasons I've ever seen.
Two awards.
Say it again.
He won 2 awards.
3. He won the Lombardi, the Bednarik, and the Nagurski. He won all 3. Doak Walker went to Bijan Robinson. We pretty much knew that was going to be the case. But Litnikoff went to Jalen Hyatt. John Mackey went to Brock Bowers. Remington went to Oluwatimi from Michigan. He also got the Outland Trophy. And then the Buckets went to Jack Campbell from Iowa. I thought Jack Campbell should have won it last year. He's a fantastic linebacker. And then William B. Campbell Trophy for the top scholar athlete went to Jack Campbell as well. And then the Jim Thorpe Award went to Travius Hodges Tomlinson. That was some bull. My boy from Illinois was the best defensive back in the country. And it wasn't even close. It wasn't. And the closest one to him was the kid from Utah. I just watched him shut Jordan Addison down. That's
right.
In the Pac-12 conference game. Like, come on, man. Stop. Ray God went to Adam Corsack from Rutgers. Christopher Dunn, place kicker from North Carolina State, won the Luke Groza And then the coach of the year was Sonny Dykes. And the Broyles Award was Garrett Riley for top assistant coach. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. Mike Elko, in my opinion, deserved coach of the year. But what he did at Duke, former defensive coordinators, I thought what Clark Lee did at Vandy this year was impressive. And I think what
Lincoln Riley's turnaround of that USC program.
No, dog, you can't compare going and getting a bunch of. Come on, stop.
You still got to coach them, and USC been in the pits for years. In the pits.
That was, dude. Are you kidding me? You considering 7-5 and 8-4 the pits? We're talking about Duke. Duke is like 4-8, 5-7, 3-9. Come on, man. I mean, I understand. I'm not about to sit here and throw. Look, I'm not one of these people that get upset about the way things are in college football. If you can do it legally, I'm cool with it. If you go out and get a bunch of transfers to come in and put a team together and coach them right and get them to win, it's all a part of coaching in college football, in my opinion, bro.
Shoot, NFL too. Watching Baker Mayfield pull that win off and under 24 hours, knowing that, amazing.
I appreciate you. You helped solidify that number 2 pick for the Bears with that win. We appreciate you in Chicago.
Yeah.
Huge Baker fans. And the Broncos and the Rams play each other coming up. Just a step closer to Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. That's all. Just a step closer to Will Anderson.
Y'all got 2 first-round picks, huh?
No. We have to choose between the either or.
Oh, yeah. It's Will Anderson.
That's going to be tough.
You got to pick Will Anderson.
I don't know.
You got to have the pass rusher. Will Anderson is not what y'all picked up Jalen's year. Who was that? The pass rusher that didn't pan out.
Oh,
Leonard Floyd. He's not Leonard Floyd. He's not Leonard Floyd.
Yeah. No, he's a step up from Leonard Floyd. This is my only thing. You remember that 2006 defense that went to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Urlacher, Briggs.
Lance Briggs was nice.
Tillman, beast. That defense didn't pop the way it did until they got Tommy Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Harris made everybody else better.
He did.
He made life better for Urlacher. He made life better for man. And if Jalen Carter is that type of dude on the interior, that's hard, man. That's just hard to. It's gonna be tough.
You can't go wrong with either one, though.
No, it's definitely going to be tough.
No way they can miss this pick.
No. The worst GM can hit on this pick. The worst. It's not hard. Even if you can move down 3 or 4 spots and pick up extra picks and still get one of the 2, you're not losing.
You're not losing.
Man, you're not losing at all. So, vitriol amongst Notre Dame fans for Brock Bowers winning the Mackey Award. Can I give my 2 cents?
Look, I think Brock Bowers is just I'm not everything's about numbers for me.
Yeah.
Michael Mayer is statistically and, got all the accolades. But Brock Bowers is a dude, man. I don't know how you put that on the evaluation scale between the 2.
Left look, man. And I tell, I try to be cordial when I talk to Notre Dame fans on social media, man. Stop acting like Brock Bowers is trash.
Yes. That's what I'm like. I get that we upset our guy.
Michael Mayer should have won the Mackey, and it really should not have been close this year. In the same breath, Brock Bowers should have won the Mackey last year, and it should not have been close. It should not have been. But they weren't going to give it to a freshman.
No.
If you are this heated over political awards, we know these awards are political and business. We know this. We know this. How is Caleb Williams the winner of 2 awards, player of the year, but not the best quarterback? Explain that to me. He's the player of the year. Yeah. He plays quarterback, but he's not the best quarterback in the nation.
Come on.
There is no rhyme or reason to any of this. And I just don't give a lot of credence to it, man. It's political.
Yeah, it's like we knew they was gonna slip in Ohio State or Bama in that football play. We didn't need any inkling. We just knew because we know how the college football committee goes. And this is just another instance of it. I think Georgia's been the better team the last 2 years and even this year. So, when you're on the winning team, you're going to get more accolades. I think of my own team in high school. We got everybody getting offers now. Yeah, because we went to the finals championship game. So, more film, more opportunities. But Michael Mayer has done everything and then some to be in that room. I don't think there's much more he could have did to earn that award, but it's the same reason, David Robinson couldn't win a championship while Michael Jordan was around. 2 great players, but it's Michael Jordan, just like it's Brock Bowers. I mean, he's a really good player, and Michael Mayer's a really good player. I think Mayer may have a more consistent career in the league, but Brock Bowers is a splash player now. He can do some freakish things on the field more consistently down the stretch that I think Michael Mayer can provide. But Michael Mayer is a productive tight end on all aspects.
Man, look, and people can say, well, look at the quarterbacks he was working with this year. It's a great point. You know what Georgia fans can say? Brock Bowers was literally splitting targets with another second-round tight end. like, if you put him on Notre Dame, he probably has the same amount of targets, same amount of receptions, same amount of touchdowns. I mean, look, I understand the arguments both ways. Look, Bowers should have won it last year. Mayer should have won it this year.
Yes, if they did it right. If they were treating it right, that's how it should have gone. Bowers last year because they went to the championship. They'll probably go to the championship this year. But Michael Mayer deserves it. But 2 great tight ends, man. I wish I had them both on my team.
You ain't lying about that. Just think about that. They have Darnell Washington and Brock Bowers.
Darnell Washington's
on the same team, man. Like, what do you do with that, bro? What do you do with that? Like, play action is just.
I mean, they playing with house money over there in Georgia.
It's crazy. It's crazy. 7, bro. It's a perfect number for most. And it's been darn near perfect for Notre Dame. As I said, Foskey has donned it for 4 seasons at Notre Dame. We gave flowers to Michael Mayer after he made his decision yesterday and released his post. Sometime yesterday, Isaiah Foskey did the same thing.
Yep.
And I just remember this kid, man, making his mark on special teams. I remember when he committed and the promise he had. We thought he would be right behind Dalen at that point in pass rushers. And see him cut his teeth in special teams and continue to be a viable part of special teams. Like, he loves special teams. And then to become the all-time sack leader at Notre Dame, supplanting Justin Tuck. Man, tip your cap. The sweat equity, the hard work. And this is what we're talking about today, the Marcus Freeman effect. I think Michael Mayer and Isaiah Foskey are representative of what Marcus Freeman is establishing. And let me point out this. I believe the 2021-22 Fighting Irish team was fraudulent in this sense. They had one loss to Cincinnati during the regular season. Then they lose in the Fiesta Bowl. But I think the record kind of overestimated who they really were. Just my opinion. I don't think they were a college football playoff, win a semifinal game football team last year. I just don't. Come to this year, and you basically bring back leadership from that team, and the expectations were the same or even better to making it into the college football playoffs. Not realizing how important Jack Cohn really was to that 21 team. And you come in with two first-time starters that are battling it out for the quarterback position, the starting quarterback position. And I'll throw myself in there as one of those that overestimated the lack of experience at one of the most important positions on the team. And you get 8-4, but you get locker room issues that Michael Mayer was transparent about after the BYU game. You know, you get parents being upset, parents of veterans that have been there, you know, going on social media talking about what Brian Kelly would have done, when in fact they didn't like him either. That's why I didn't understand it. Like, why are you going on social media caping for this dude? And you were just complaining about this dude. So it was a lot. That was a lot for Marcus Freeman, his staff, and his locker room to endure. But we finally got the truth, in my opinion, of where this program was, even last year.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a step back. If you look at the record, okay, fine. This is where things were. We've constantly talked about how the program was viewed towards the end of Kelly's tenure nationally from a recruiting standpoint. Just short of a joke, and that's a fact. We talked to Carnell Tate multiple times. Carnell Tate told us, look, Tommy Reese was the only person that I really rock with. I never even talked to Brian Kelly. It's possibly the number one receiver in the 23 class.
Possibly.
Tommy's the only one I really talked to. Come on a visit. Brian Kelly don't have a relationship with him. All that's changed. Total 180. 1 year. And this is, you know, we'll talk about the decommitment that took place yesterday. But this year has given us an honest assessment of what the program really was. Could an experienced quarterback and an experienced head coach have changed the record from 8-4 to 10-2? Yes. Yes. If Jack Cohn was the quarterback and Brian Kelly was the coach of this year's team, they're probably 10-2, 11-1. But guess what? They're no closer to a national championship. And that's the point. That's the point. They're no closer.
Yeah.
To a national championship. What you have now is you have a true assessment being done by a very transparent head coach that's letting you know, look here, this is the way we're going to lay the foundation. We have to do it this way. And we talked about it earlier this week. There will be some evolution coming from Notre Dame. There will be some hires at the beginning of the year that you'll hear about that will impact how Notre Dame moves in the name, image, and likeness space and recruiting moving forward. Notre Dame is not going to, nor will they ever entice kids to come to Notre Dame with money. It's just not happening.
It's just not the way they do it over there.
Not. If you sign on the dotted line and become part of the program, now we can talk. But they're not about to become Texas A&M with 4 or 5 people that got NIL deals leaving after their freshman year. Notre Dame's not jumping in that dirty pool. It's just not. You know? Will they move things around for the transfer portal? I would predict that there will be some slight changes. There's not going to be any plastic surgery, no BBL, for example, type of a movement where it's drastic and it's quick.
Nope.
No. But there are discussions, in my opinion, going on with Marcus Freeman, sharing things with Jack Swarbrick and letting them know this is what we need. And I believe Jack Swarbrick and the administration are going to continue to listen and be open and work with Marcus Freeman in the football program. But this is where we are. This is where we are. You know, and if a young man gets contacted by a new coach at a school that has stunk for over a decade and wants to be drawn away because of money and wants to bring that up. See, this is the thing. I've said this before. Because NIL conversations are going to happen in recruiting. But when you have the conversation and then you decide to commit knowing the stance, but then get an offer and try to play the recruitment as if, let me go back and see if you can match this, or dog, Marcus Freeman has been 100%. We're not playing that game. We're not playing that game. We're not doing that.
We're not going for it.
And that is where I applaud his stance, because it's not easy to do that.
Well, I think it's easier watching the fallout from it. Your whole roster leaving as a freshman. I think that's a little crazy.
Yeah. You know, and I'm, you know, some people might feel like I'm on my high horse right now. I just know if I had a son that was going through recruitment, no, we're not committing. Because my speech to him is, hey, when you commit, we done. When you commit, we're done.
That's what you're telling them?
Yeah, unless that coach
is leaving.
You take your time making this commitment. Because when you give someone, this is me, bro. When you give someone your word, that's it. We're done. I don't care what offer comes on the back end. We're done. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, you can wait, son. You can wait until the night before National Signing Day. If that's the way you feel, wait until the day before National Signing Day.
Hold on. Let's say he commits, you know, to Coastal Carolina.
Why you giving me Coastal Carolina, fam?
Okay, UAB with Trent Dilfer. That's gonna be a good program. So.
No. Give me.
Okay, North Carolina currently. North Carolina currently.
And Marcus Freeman. You giving me all
Marcus Freeman knocked down your door 2 weeks later.
Why is my son committing to a mid-level school? I bet if it was reversed, your son would be committing to like Alabama or Georgia.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that if he commits to the top school, you're not going back. You're not switching it up.
This is Notre Dame is a top school, right?
I was saying if it was Louisville with Jeff Brown.
No, my son wouldn't be going to no Louisville with Jeff Brown.
No, he's only
let's get it right. Let's get it right. You got to give a better IE than that. You need a better example, Left.
So he's only keeping his word to the top schools, and then if
no. I'm just saying use a better example because my son will be talented enough to go to the top school. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, if we committed Notre Dame, we ain't turning back. Is what you're saying. Got it,
dude. All I'm saying is in this landscape, as a parent, I know what it is. I know there are going to be more offers. If my son is good, he's going to pick up NIL offers. During his senior season, he's going to pick up offers from other top programs trying to get in late.
Yes.
I understand this, right? So my suggestion would be, son, daughter, in another sport, look, relax. Yeah. You got until December 21st. Don't be swayed because you're cool with people in the class and y'all got no. Make your decision on your own. Take your time.
Is this the same conversation Dante Moore's dad should have with him?
Yeah.
Should he stick with Dante's dad? Would you be like, yeah, we should stick with it?
Dante Moore's father should have stopped that silent commitment stuff. What you mean you silently committed? What are you talking about? No, what are you silently committed? No. But see, I think Dante wanted to publicly commit. That's my personal opinion. I think the people around him wanted him to keep it on the low. You know what I'm saying? And so people I'm against the bag. I'm not against the bag at all. That's the whole point of taking your time. So you can think about the bag. Because you know what's coming. You know what's coming. So no, if I was committed to a school and a certain coach just got hired and he's a big time personality and he comes a calling, man, coach, I appreciate your call. I appreciate it. But we done. We're done. Now, this is a caveat, right?
Okay.
We can get into Dylan Edwards.
Okay.
No, before we get to Dylan Edwards, because we kind of went off to the left, give your final thoughts on Isaiah Foskey. I want to close that before we get to Dylan Edwards.
Man, Isaiah Foskey, just a tremendous commitment to a program on an individual level to be able to achieve supplanting another great DN that's came through here with Justin Tuck and just the accolades that accomplishing the sack record is at a place like Notre Dame. It's going to be around for a while. So I think that with Marcus Freeman and instilling that confidence in Isaiah Foskey to come back to developing for another year, it shows a lot of trust that Isaiah Foskey had in the program. And he is a guy that's truly developed from the first year to the last year, a product that Notre Dame can be proud of, another chip on Mike Elston's block of great DNs he's been able to recruit to Notre Dame. And I think it's a good template for other DN recruits to see an Isaiah Foskey path under a Marcus Freeman and at Notre Dame in general and see the success you can have in the near future. Justin Tuck played, in 2000s, early 2000s. 20 years later, the record is broken.
Yeah.
I think it's a good trend to set for what we want to build, and that's amazing pass rushers at Notre Dame. And Isaiah Foskey has sealed his legacy on that. Can't be nothing else but proud. Hopefully, he lands in that second round like he was projected last year.
Absolutely. Man, nothing but respect and success. He is going to the Senior Bowl where you can make your mark and really solidify yourself as that first round pick. He'll get that opportunity. I think Jared Patterson is also going to be there, if I'm not mistaken. But, the combination of Isaiah Foskey and Michael Mayer deserve all the flowers and love that they get from Notre Dame. And people that have a problem with them foregoing the opportunity to play in the bowl game, relax. Relax. Like they've earned the right to prepare for the next phase of their life. They have. Now, getting back to Dylan Edwards in that situation, he decommits from Notre Dame. Look, Dylan Edwards was not really a focal point of the backfield. Dylan Edwards was going to be more of a slot type guy, special teams, jet sweep. He's explosive, right? He was the fastest player in the class, him and Micah Bell. Depends. I mean, you could go either way if they raced. And you don't lose anything from the running back recruiting by losing him. Notre Dame will not be going after a fifth wide receiver. Tayshaun Lyons has Notre Dame in his 4 teams to choose from when he makes his upcoming decision, but nah. Khalil Barnes has a decision coming up on the 16th. Notre Dame was supposed to go see him this week. They canceled that. And what Notre Dame did was they took that extra scholarship, and now they have offered and they're going after a 4-star 23 defensive end and tight end named Mason Robinson.
Yeah.
Out of the DMV. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Understanding, not just saying we lost a receiver, let's go get another receiver. No. You know what? Let's go get some more help on this defensive line. Honest assessment of where you're at. So Mason Robinson is the latest offer, 2023, 6'4", 235 defensive end out of Madonna School in Owens Mill, Maryland. Great film. I love the kid. And I think it's the right move. This is when you properly identify and proper usage of your scholarships comes into play. Left.
That's right. Proper use of scholarships is always in play towards the end of the signing day. You always want to leave one open and one just in case a guy like we had last night decommit. But, I think Marcus Freeman is just going through the ranks of what it is to recruit at this level. It's not Cincinnati. There's going to be a lot of things that are twists and turns in this game, but I think we got the right guy to handle all the motion that happens in recruiting, because it can be frustrating at times. It can be a little disappointing, a little disheartening. I mean, I'm sure he probably feels a way if he just saw a kid and 2 minutes later, the kid on the internet is in rumors saying he's about to decommit. He's like, damn, did I do something wrong that fast?
Facts.
So
that's the way it goes.
So I know it's probably stressful, especially all them flyer miles he's racking up, trying to be committed to these kids, and kids are going to be kids. So it's not an easy thing to recruit kids.
Yeah.
But I think Marcus Freeman is sticking to his formula, man. He's sticking to his guns. He's not selling out to the easy route of throwing money at players. And it's funny because even if he wanted to, I don't think he would be able to.
I agree. Let's look at him a little bit.
Got his own bag, but I think he's finding ways around it, which is good too.
Yeah, let's look at this kid a little bit left, because he like I said, 235 coming off the edge, able to bend back inside right there. Long arms, man. That's one thing I like about this staff. They are going after long, athletic kids.
Yeah, traits like Boubacar Toure is going like that.
Okay.
Woo! That's how you paint a dude to the floor right there.
Attitude. You know what I like? He can turn that hoop. You know how they run the hula hoop?
Yeah, he can turn that corner.
He can turn. He has good bend. I like that.
I like his retrace.
Yep.
He got sucked inside and had the speed to get back outside. It looks good.
Yeah.
He a little stiff at the bend a little bit, but his long arms make up for so much.
Yeah.
And his extension, he gonna jump for a guy. He ain't just gonna let you go by through the arm tackle. He's gonna lay out on the line. to get that sack, make that play.
Man, he can really get around that corner though, left.
And the thing about it though is the long arms keeps the guy off of him.
Yeah.
As he's getting around, he just this a real solid pickup. It reminds me a lot of how Khalid's film looked. I don't think Khalid's arms were as long, but Khalid had a motor and was able to bend that corner like this kid is. And this is just the diamonds in the rough. You know, the late signees that we're able to try to pull off. Just shows that recruiting is 24/7 with this staff, and that, yeah, we may get some good players early, but we getting good players at the end too.
Yo, like I said, if this is the floor of your recruiting, kids like this, you're feeling pretty good.
Definitely feeling good, and especially liking to see you have the QB having a lot of hurries and pressures.
Yeah.
One thing we got to replace is 25 sacks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And this is a kid that can at least shake it up or open up the offensive line concern for more than just one player. And he's gonna be a problem. I would love to see how Marcus Freeman develops, him and Al Washington develops a kid like this, because he looks a little undersized.
235.
Yeah, he definitely
he needs to put about 30 on.
He need about 30 pounds on.
Yeah.
Will it affect his speed? I like his get off and his aggression towards the line of scrimmage. 235 is kind of little though.
Yeah.
So he'll a guy that we can develop and maybe a late bloomer to where that weight won't affect him and he go out there and fly around.
Lucky Lefty Podcast once again. Brand new 23 offer. Defensive end, tight end Mason Robinson out of Owen Mills, Maryland, McDonough School. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Al Washington is out there checking him out as well. For the Culture Friday, so we bring in our boy, man. I'm gonna have to get on him, man. I got to tip my cap to him and ask him for some of his culinary advice and dietary advice, because he's been putting in work. I'm watching him, man. He's putting in work. We're gonna live with exclusive cuts.
Yo,
Hey,
what's good?
Shout out to Julio, everybody out there. Exclusive, my boy Nate that hooked me up when I was there for my birthday.
Oh yeah, that's a shout out Nate. My boy Nate right here, man, putting in work.
What up, Nate?
What's up, boy?
Look, he over here working hard.
So Julio, man, are you going to be filming anything upcoming for the commits?
Man, honestly, we had kind of weird. Yeah, we got nothing planned, but I know it's gonna be like a big deal though. Right. National signing ain't gonna be a big deal.
Chicago recently cutting your boy Chase Claypool.
Oh yeah, I was just out there in Chicago over the weekend, man. Got to cut him and Montgomery, the running back.
Okay.
It was cool, man. It was a dope experience. The game itself wasn't a good experience, but you know, I got the opportunity, even though they lost.
How much do you feel a part of the recruitment cycle now that you're getting in there with recruits, you cutting hair, you talking to guys that are interested? Do you feel kind of like you're on staff, like a coach recruiting as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. It feels so cool, bro, because like, you know, like I got to meet a lot of these guys before the games or like, you know, on their visits, you know, got to talk to some of them. And it's so cool to see where their heads at and how serious they've been taking the consideration of even coming here. So, yeah, it's cool. And then once they finally commit, which hopefully they should all commit, it's like seeing them grow is the dopest thing ever, bro.
Yeah. So when you see somebody like Dante Moore who you cut,
yeah, man, that was weird. I wasn't happy with that, but yeah, man, I just was like, all right, go do your thing. Regardless, you still gotta support them, you know. They're still like what, 16 and 17.
So this was like
kids, crazy.
Yeah, did you rush the field at the Clemson game?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know I had to. You know I had to. That was the best game I've ever been to in my life.
You
Okay.
said it was the best game
Straight
you've
up.
ever been to.
Yes, the best game I've ever been to in my life. Straight up.
So
Yeah,
man,
no,
tell
that
me
was
about who is the toughest haircut,
toughest haircut.
the toughest
Uh,
haircut,
like
or
on the team.
somebody that's real particular about how you cut their hair on the squad.
Yeah, who's real?
Would you say coaches or players?
Man, either
I
one.
mean, it could be either one.
Well, I mean, the most. You said the most hardest or the most particular one?
Yeah.
I mean, the most particular. A lot of the coaches, man, like Marcus got a particular haircut. Coach
Ah,
Washington. Coach Washington. Coach Al Washington. He makes sure everything's on point. So I gotta always be on point. I gotta do all the little things like the beard and the eyebrows and everything, mustache. Yeah, that's all the coaches, man. That's all of them, honestly.
So all the coaches get the extra mirror when you're done. They take their time,
Yeah,
look
man.
around, and make sure it's right.
Yeah, they all are recruiting right now. I think a lot of them coming back today, so I
Yeah.
should be seeing a lot of them later on today, actually.
Okay. Once again, live from exclusive cuts.
Yes,
Out in
sir.
Mishawaka, Indiana, what I got, Julio Cuts, who is the hair man. He's the
Yes,
barber
sir.
to the stars. That's what I call you, bro. The
Hell
barber
yeah.
to the stars.
Appreciate
the stars, man.
it. Just
So,
doing my thing out here.
so you get the early enrollees. They come in January. Is that when you really start the relationship with the new guys that'll be coming in?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we'll most likely have them come here to the shop. Book with us through the app we use, so they can kind of like walk in here and kind of see the jerseys in the bag. Their reactions are pretty cool when they walk in. It's like, damn, like y'all serious? Y'all cut a lot of the guys already before us.
Because it's stages. Because it wasn't always like that, man. We had to really find out on our own where to get our haircut and stuff.
Nah, yeah, nah. Now their own coaches are gonna tell them to come over here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right. Evolution. Shout out
They
Marcus.
trust their coach. Freeman era.
What's the deadline for everybody to get to you before they head out to the bowl game?
Oh yeah. You said what?
What's the deadline? What's the latest the players can get to you before they go to the bowl game?
Well, I think a lot of them are flying home here soon, and then are gonna end up like going to their house, and then from their house going to the bowl game. I think that's how it's gonna work. So I think probably next week I think next week will probably be the deadline. Cause I know they got like an award show on Friday or something,
Right. Once
and then
again,
after that I think they leave.
all right, man, we're gonna let you go in a few minutes, but before we let you go, give us your favorite recruit that you cut. Favorite recruit in 2023 that you cut.
Favorite recruit, man. That's tough, bro. They're all dope, honestly. But I gotta choose one. Favorite recruit that I cut. That had to have been around in the summer. Let me see. Bro, it's so tough. Like even the old line guys were cool. Like Sullivan or something, a bro name. Like a lot of those old line guys were so cool. But let's see, Eli. I know I cut Payne Bowen's brother. Eli was dope. Payne Bowen was there around us.
Hayden Man, Eli, Sullivan Absher, you talked about him.
Yeah, no, he's cool.
You cut Drake Bowen's hair?
Drake Bowen, not yet. Yeah, I haven't cut him yet. But Jaden Greyhouse was around us. He was cool. Rico Flores.
Yeah, gotta get Jay.
Yeah, me and Nate was going crazy too. I had another one of my barbers doing it with me too. But Nate was going crazy during the official visit time.
Yeah.
But all these players coming from different areas, do they ask for different styles? Like Texas haircuts be crazy.
Honestly, I didn't get hit with too many weird ones this year. Like, but I know what you're talking about, like Florida mullets and stuff. Nah, none of them. Nah. Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Richard rocking that for a while.
Oh yeah, Dexter's going crazy with it, man. Richard Young was a cool guy. Richard Young was really dope. The running back that we tried to get, but he was cool, man. Yeah, they're all honestly just young, man, and just trying to really take this seriously and try to consider, where they want to go to college. So we didn't really press them too much, but we was trying to give them the idea that ND is the best place. But at the end of the day, they're just kids, and it's just bro, we having fun. They feel comfortable. That's the most important part. They feel comfortable.
Right.
You
So,
know.
man, we thank you for giving us some time today. I know you're busy. We just went to the
Oh yeah.
Hawthorne. It's for the Culture Friday right here on Lefty Podcast. And you are
Yes, sir.
one of the swaggiest parts of the Notre Dame culture right now. So we had to get
Oh,
you in,
yeah.
bro.
Oh, bro, you already know. I appreciate it, man. When is the national signing day again?
December 21st.
Oh yeah, I'll be counting down, man. We're gonna hopefully have one of the best classes that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, you
And
doing the party at the shop?
oh, I probably should, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all should come.
Hey, if you do a party at the shop, I'll drive down.
Hey man, I told you guys this Freeman area is gonna be different, man. I could just tell right away. It's serious stuff going on, and hopefully it's gonna show, for everybody to see during the season, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So everybody, if you are in the South End, if you're in the area, exclusive cuts, Julio cuts, and my boy Nate that gets you right. We appreciate you joining us, bro.
Oh yeah, no problem, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Take care.
I said, Cat Julio cuts. We had to get him on, man, as we approach.
We was really in the field with that one.
Oh no. When I talked to him, he was like, man, do you mind if I set the camera up as I cut? And I'm like, nah, that's perfect. Have you been in there recently?
Man, I haven't been at all to Julio's. Julio's was really the so I was a senior, and it was the freshman that was really on Julio, like the Khalid and the Dalen, and because we had Barber Joe and our guys, our special guys, but when the freshmen came in, they found their own barber. They found their own little swag, and they kept trying to convince us, like, oh, you got to go to Julio. I'm like, I don't know no Julio, but now Julio is a staple in the program. It just shows the evolution of where things go, especially from a culture standpoint. I'm sure that most recruits thinking about Notre Dame is definitely not thinking about getting a fresh cut when they find out where Notre Dame is. So give them that surprise. They're probably like, man, okay, I can get comfortable, like you said, and enjoy the trip a little bit more, knowing you can get fresh at Notre Dame too. Don't let it confuse you.
Man, look, that dude cut Georgia for the national championship. He cut Dan Lanning, Georgia players. They paid him to come down. Of course, with the South Bend Cubs, he cuts everybody on the Cubs once they make it to the major leagues. He comes up here to Chicago all the time. We stay in contact. Every now and then I get up with him when he comes up over the summer. And I told him, I can't kick it with you like that, bro. I can't shop with you. That dude, his shopping is on a whole another level. I'm like, I'm still rocking Jordans. You trying to pay for these Balenciagas, bro.
Yeah. He trying to take it next level with the cuts.
So
freshest barber in South Bend, man.
Freshest barber, him, Nate. Nate hooks me up when I go in town, man. It's a great experience. You go to the shop. Every Notre Dame player that's ever been in the NFL has sent their jersey back to him. He has all of the NFL jerseys. That's why I asked you if you had been in the shop. All of the NFL jerseys are around the shop. It's a great experience. And then you sit there, and then walks this 6'5", 310-pound dude, gives you the head nod and sits down for his haircut, and you sit up there talking basketball.
Yeah.
The player, just like he's a normal player. It's a great experience, man. Great experience. So if you're ever in South Bend for a game day, or if you live in South Bend, exclusive.
You want to get the scoop on things, Notre Dame football, head over to
Facts. Because he'll send me a question about a recruit, like what's going on, and I'll ask him about somebody on the current roster or a coach or something like that. I can see Al Washington being that dude that wants to mirror like 4 or 5 times.
Him, Dina McCullough, Marcus Freeman, they fresh for a reason now.
Man, I was looking at Marcus.
They learn, look, together on them interviews.
Dude, question of the day, LL Nation. Have you ever seen Marcus Freeman with a bad fade?
Never. He might get a cut every 2 days.
Have you ever seen Marcus Freeman with a bad fade?
They cut him like they cut Spencer from All American, where every time he come off camera, they just touching him up,
right?
Just touching him up, hitting the corners.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation, and Conjuncture Irish Breakdown. Great content, man. State of Recruiting with John Garcia Jr. IB Sports Talk. Malik was on there last night with Shaun and Jesse Stiers. Great show. And CFB Nation Talk, College Football Talk. All great content over at CFB Nation. Download it. Set up for automatic downloads. Why don't you? Leave us 5 stars. And on top of that, just go ahead and leave a comment. We greatly appreciate it. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Marcus. Now I'm going to start going back and looking at Al Washington too.
Yeah.
Now that we talked to Julio, I doubt I've ever seen him with a bad haircut. Antoine Porsche Rideau says, Shaun, for the culture, worst rapper, Silk the Shocker or Benzino?
Benzino.
I'm going to go with Silk because at least Benzino owned it. At least he owned the label. At least he owned the magazine.
Yeah.
When you're the owner, you can do what you want to do.
That's right.
Right? What was that? The owner of the Knicks has like his own band. And the band is supposed to be average, but he's the owner, man. He can do what he wants to do. Silk the Shocker.
That's why we got to keep that in mind. If you're the owner, they can't tell you to give up your stuff now.
Man, Silk the Shocker was crazy. So we apologize. I know the audio in there was a little bit. I'm trying to be nice because I knew it was loud. We take chances here, man, for the culture. I thought it would be dope.
That's what it sounds like in a barbershop anyway.
Right. Absolutely. And if he throws that party on National Signing Day, I'm driving down to report live, bro.
Yeah. Like Cameron.
Yeah. I might do the show. I might do the show with you live from the shop.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Might have to do it that way. Lucky Lefty Podcast. They both were terrible. I don't care. They both were terrible. Benzino and Silk the Shocker were both terrible, man. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. Let's see. We covered Foskey. I want to make sure I covered everything, bro. College football, Foskey, Mayor Snubbed, the decommitment. Marcus Freeman, before we get to the petty train. You ever see someone years down the line that you might have been in business with or in a relationship with, and you see they're doing well, but you're in a different space and you're happy?
Yeah.
I don't care what the record says. Notre Dame fans should be happy. Be happy with the relationship that you're no longer in, and be happy for the direction. Because, if you're in the beginning stages of a relationship, you're going through the process of getting to know somebody all over again.
Like Lance Taylor, shout out to him over his head coaching job.
Shout out to him over Western Michigan. So, look. 8-4 is that beginning stage of the foundation.
Yeah. It ain't no more 8-4.
No.
Yeah. Ain't no more 8-4.
Look, this class was built up so good that we expected. I don't know about anybody else. I expected.
Yeah, like when you put the root beer in the cup and it overflows a little bit. I expect the bubbles on the top because it's so much.
Yeah.
You know, we bubbling so much as a class. We're gonna have a little spillover. You know, it's still good. We shape up the size a little bit so that the bubbles don't come out overflow too much. But you're gonna have a little overfill.
Yeah.
But it's fine because what we got inside that cup is still gold. It's still root beer. It's still top in the country.
Yeah.
A little falls out on the top. Okay, we wipe it up. It's cool.
Yeah.
But what we got inside is still good.
I like it, man. I like it. I love this class, man. The depth that's being added to the wide receiver room. Look, if I were Dylan Edwards, I would question, man, you look at the wide receivers they're bringing in, and then you look at the running back room. Like, we haven't even, dude, Jadarian Price. Did you see the video? Did you see that dude in the weight room? Yeah. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the latest video. I just saw that
picture of Jadarian.
Dude, this dude.
I've been telling y'all. I've been telling you. He's faster than Aldrick, faster than Logan. I don't know if he's faster than Chris Tyree, but he damn near as big as Aldrick now.
Man.
Hey, he's coming for a lot. And he's a really good kid. So
absolutely.
I'm sticking behind it. Jadarian Price is going to be something to reckon with next year.
Man. So, if I were him and Jayden Lamar should look at the depth chart and say, man, there is another running back in the 24 class that has a commitment coming up next week that is trending heavily in the direction of Notre Dame. Just happens to be the number one running back in the nation to some.
In the nation.
This happens to be the all-time rushing leader in the state of Missouri after 3 years. And he's trending.
And Ezekiel Elliott came from there too.
Yes, and he's trending to Notre Dame. He's making his decision next week. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm not mad. NIL decisions, depth charts. I'm not mad at anybody that looks at this 23 class with the talent that's there from the 22 class and says, it might be
all I'm
better.
Gonna say is don't play yourself. Don't play yourself trying to say something that, here today, gone tomorrow.
I mean, no, man.
We're not saying he's going to decommit.
No, we're not saying he's going to decommit. We're just saying at the running back position, I would not be shocked if someone looked at the stacked room and said, somebody's going to give me a starting shot. Dylan Edwards, wherever he goes, I promise you, is being promised immediate action. Immediate action. Notre Dame wasn't promising him that.
It's hard. It's hard to at this point.
Yeah.
Give a commitment to anybody that they start their first year.
So once again,
not even Peyton Bowen. It's hard to even tell Peyton Bowen
again, bro, start. You know why they can look Peyton Bowen in the eye and say that? Because they did it to Jalen Seed. They did it to Nolan Ziegler. They said, you're going to earn your spot on this practice field. You want to get on the field? Earn it. So I don't care how many stars you have coming in. Go earn it. Go work.
Earn it.
We're not giving anything to anyone. So, look, like I said before, and I think we put it on the board at IB Irish Breakdown last night. They made the decision. We're good with the 4 guys we have in the wide receiver room. We lose Dylan Edwards. We could go after another wide receiver. We could continue to really press Khalil Barnes. But guess what? We need to go get this defensive end that can come around the corner and get to the quarterback.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's go get another one. And that's, you have to.
We seen what it can do for a team like Clemson, who had 4 All-Americans, and we saw what it can do for them. Give them a championship.
Look, I'm just happy to see honest assessment in recruiting, bro.
Yeah.
And we agree with you, Rocket Rebound. At this point, go get a Viper, dude. Go get him. Especially with the receivers you have in tow. Go get them. And like I said, this coaching staff is not in the business of promises, bro.
Not in the business, not even whatsoever.
No, they're not in the business of promise. I've heard that Al Washington at some point is going to be in Chicago as well to see a very important recruit in 24. I think everybody knows who I'm talking about. I'll leave it at that. He might be the most important recruit in 24. Look, I chopped it up with his coach last night. So I think somebody might be stopping by the west side of Chicago, bro. To check out somebody.
Okay.
It's much needed.
And he's huge.
Man.
We seen that we talked about him a little bit.
He's huge in a variety of ways.
That's right.
Man. Jason Hewlett, man, you stop. Stop, man. He says Silk got classics. Come on.
Yeah, not today.
I can point out so many bad rappers that have classic songs, dude. Heck, Busta Move.
Will Smith, LL Cool J,
Young MC. Come on, dude. Rev Run is not the greatest rapper in the world, bro.
Montel Jordan.
Man, I think we have a couple of super chats, bro. Let's get to them before we get out of here. Jason Hewlett, I have to speak straight words. We cannot win the championship with Golden and Tommy Reese as our coordinators. They won't play their best players due to trust. Hope Free figures it out. Luck for OC. You got something for that?
Definitely me for OC, 100%. But I think that was used more as an excuse. I don't think it's an actual trust thing, because if it was, I don't think they would have recruited him. I think it was more coach speak. But this is another season coming up where there are no more excuses for that. Most of these guys that we wanted have been in the program for a year now and some change, where if you can't trust them now, then tell them to transfer. Because with everything that's happening fast in college football, there ain't no time to wait. So we either use them or lose them. And I think that this year, we're not going to make the same mistake as last year.
85 receptions for 1,160 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's enough for me to know that Tobias Merriweather needs about 5 to 7 targets in this bowl game.
Yeah. Yeah. The ball needs to fly his way a couple more times.
Yeah, I know he was out with the concussion late in the season, but Jason Hewlett, once again, thank you for the super chat. The fact that number 22 starts over number 7 is beyond me. Lord, please, who was 22?
Peyton Bowen?
No, I guess who was 22? Logan Diggs is number 3, if that's who you're talking about. And honestly, Logan Diggs, in my opinion, was the most impressive running back in the toughest games. Honestly.
Yeah, down the stretch.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Logan Diggs this season. And he's more trustworthy with the ball. Archie Estimate got over that eventually, but Logan Diggs doesn't put the ball on the ground.
No, he doesn't.
So, I don't know. I think that, by the way, I'm only halfway through the SZA album, bro. First half was I'm sorry.
I don't know. SZA, I think SZA has some good stuff here and there. I don't like her content and her music all the time, but you know,
I
shout
can
out to
respect her pen. I love the pen game on the last album.
yeah, on the last album, yeah, great.
That was fabulous. It was fabulous. But I'll check that. I'm looking forward to the Ab Soul dropping next week.
December 16th, me too, and all the features. You got some good features on there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Ab Soul.
Yeah, you tapped in a little bit to the culture, Shaun.
Oh, man, please. I'm tapped in more than most young folks.
That's right.
Ab Soul is one of my favorite artists out there, dude. I love that dude. All right, bro. Well, we appreciate everybody that joined in. Julio Cuts jumped in to talk to us from Exclusive Cuts out there in Mishawaka, Indiana. We talked Marcus Freeman. We talked college football awards. We talked the angst amongst the Notre Dame fan base about Michael Mayer not getting the Mackey Award. And then we talked about Mason Robinson, the new 23 defensive end offered from Notre Dame. And we also talked about Dylan Edwards decommitting from the 2023 class. Notre Dame is going to be okay. I feel pretty confident in that Notre Dame is going to be all right. No matter what, Left.
No matter what.
Man, so big time weekend, man. Everybody get some rest. Go out there, shop. Don't spend all your money. You know what time it is.
Petticoat, Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story of the Day brought to you by Onora Whiskey at OnoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Bro, look, I'm definitely going to put the college football awards on the petty train.
Yep.
We pointed it out. It's just certain things that just don't make sense. And if it's going to be a political show, then just say it. Politics and just keep it moving, man. Like, I think the Heisman has lost the luster. I think some of the other awards has lost the luster. I think expanding the playoffs is going to. I just think the playoffs are going to be. We're going to be talking about the same 3 to 4 teams.
Yeah, especially if it's uneven in the teams. You know, it ain't like college basketball.
Yeah, you might get some good matchups early on, but other than that, especially with the top 4 teams getting buys,
it's no different than watching bowl games.
I actually like bowl games back in the day as a shorty, bro. Especially on New Year's Day. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Dude, did you hear about this story out on the East Coast where this guy had to welcome his in-laws into their house when they fell on tough times. They lost their crib. He got so upset with the living arrangement that he came out and I think he murdered the father, injured sister-in-law and mother-in-law. I had to throw this dude on the petty train, man. Like, just ask him to leave, bro.
Yeah, bro, you're doing too much. Just be like, I don't like this arrangement anymore.
Yeah, you got upset about the arrangement, man. Look, we talked about this last week, like how crazy things are now. This week at our church in the city, man, somebody came by and it had to be a professional that knew what they were doing. They literally cut the exterior electric box. They just cut it and took it. Just took it, dude. So we didn't even have electricity, bro, for like a full day. And, we finally got it replaced, but it was just, they took it. They're probably selling it for the copper. And I know it had to be someone that knew what they were doing because, dude, so much voltage was going through it. You had to know exactly where to cut and how to do, take it away. So it's just the type of stuff, man. And everything that's happening, dude, we're still thankful and grateful, dude. Right? That's just the time of season it is, man. Love on each other. Don't take things too personal this season, man. Appreciate what you got. Appreciate Notre Dame and its program. Marcus Freeman, where it's headed. Man, yeah. So I got to throw those dudes on the petty train, man.
Yeah, desperate times, man. So
that's it. Anybody else left?
Nah, that tripped me out. Stole it for the copper, huh?
For the copper, bro. Stole it for the copper. It is what it is, man. Like you said, desperate times, man. So once again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. Go get all of our great content this week. Some great shows. If something breaks, I don't think anything big is going to break, but you never know. We might have to do an O and another thing. We just might have to. If we have to, we'll do it. So prayers to everyone out there, man. You guys stay safe. Continue to enjoy the holiday season. Appreciate what you got. Move forward to what's for you in the future. And have a great weekend. But most of all, make sure that you spend it different. Yeah. We'll see you guys Monday, man, for more great coverage of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.